Jim, they're getting ready to push off our field for our $50,000 to win 100-lap sprint car event. So let's go ahead and take a run through our starting lineup here tonight.
By winning the dash last night, Aaron Wilson out of Langley, BC, will be our pole sitter in the orange 14W. To his outside, the black number 33 of Jeff Montgomery, who earned that spot by finishing runner-up of the dash to make an all-Canadian front row.
Row number 2 out of Tacoma, Washington, is the 57 of Evan Margison. And alongside of him, Jason Blonde out of Litchfield, Michigan, in the 50M, who broke the track record in qualifying.
Starting inside row number 3, the established sprint car veteran Eric Humphreys in the black number 15 out of Fresno, California. To his outside, one of the winningest pavement sprint car midget racers in the country. In the black with the pink trim 22A, Bobby Santos from Franklin, Massachusetts.
Back to the next row, inside of row number 4, out of Cobble Hill, British Columbia, Robbie Price in the 21P, and to his outside, another driver from Canada, from London, Ontario, it's Ryan Litt in the 07.
Mike Bergoglio in the white, number 17 with the blue neon numbers in the Meridian, Ohio area representing him and cheering him on for victory here tonight. And to his outside, from Lutz, Florida, from Idaho, from all points in between, Davey Hamilton Jr. in the blue 14, in that number 14 for Kirk Morgan Racing.
Back to the next row, out of Vancouver, British Columbia, in the 8A, Brad Allman. And to the outside, from Kuna, Idaho, the 91 of Brian Wharf.
Another Kuna, Idaho driver. The number 81 is Casey Tillman. To his outside will be Brian Gossel from Colorado. He had brought his son here to race. His son's not in the show, but Dad made it in the 6G.
In the next row, from Riverton, Utah, in the 02, Anthony Quintana inside. Outside, from Colville, Washington, it's the 65 of Levi Rose.
Row number 9, the number 77, Audra Cicelli. She's been impressive. First time in 3 years in a sprint car. Keep an eye on that black 77. And to her outside, Tyler Rohrig, the 500 Sprint Car Tour champion in 2023, putting the wing on. And the number 41 for Mike Newman out of Plymouth, Indiana.
Running fast laps already tonight, Yorktown, Indiana's Aaron Pierce in the 26, and Kyle Alberting getting more laps in from Winston, Oregon in the 76X.
2 more cars that transferred in from the B main. The final 4 cars to start here are all from the B main transfers. Dylan Reynolds in the black number 93 out of Leesburg, Florida, and Ryan Burdett in the white number 36 from West Jordan, Utah. Richie Larson in the white number 22, Monty Bergener, and Mike Hathaway gets a provisional in car 27 out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, in that bright orange number 27. Good to see the field about rolling here. Quads are rolling off. Push trucks are getting in place, and we're about to get rolling here in earnest.
They broke the track record as we expected. And now let's see what kind of a show they can put on. Lights are out on the pace car. Here we go. Everybody has wanted a new version of the Copper World Classic. We have it. It's called the Risk-On 360 Open Wheel Showdown. You've been watching it live all weekend on speedsport.tv. And here we go for 50 grand, 100 laps, wing sprint cars, and work green in Vegas at the Bull Ring. Willison first into 1, first one off the 2 and down the backstretch. But here comes the 50 of Jason Blonde. He has already moved up to second place, and he's charging 3 wide up the front straightaway. Davey Hamilton Jr. gets 2 cars. He is already up to 6th position. Oh, they're not wasting any time, Jim. Oh, we got one around. The 6 car is around and up along the wall. That's Gossel.
They are just really good at what they do, but it's the first drive for Jason Blonde and Dick Myers, number 50. Brian Gossel, I don't know what happened there. Odd place to go up and around. So I don't know what happened there. Odd place to go up and around.
Yeah, he made contact with somebody.
Did he? Okay,
yeah.
I didn't see that. All right.
Yeah, Davey Hamilton Jr. started 10th, and DJ now is up to 7th. So he picked off 3 in those first 2 laps. Blonde waiting on the green. A little slower on the start this time. Willison hards onto the throttle. There he goes, leading them all down into turn number 1. Blonde stays there with him. DJ tries to go 3 wide again and pick up another couple of spots. Rourke trying to get a few as well as we come off of turn number 4. Everybody's smooth this time through 3 and 4. Trying to find their slot. Hamilton Jr. to the bottom.
Santos had a great run. Santos had a great run going. Got the 3rd before the caution.
Car up along the wall here in turn number 4.
It's like the 81.
Yep.
Casey Tillman. 31-year-old out of Kuna, Idaho. Oh boy, he's getting pushed back to the pits. What a disappointment for that team. Jitters are gone, down to business here.
Willison and Blonde on the front row. Here we go again. Willison first to the start line. First to turn one. Blonde carries all kinds of speed through 1 and 2 and pulls right up alongside down the backstretch. Right alongside through 3 and 4. Loses a car length across the start-finish line. Davey Hamilton Jr. working the outside as he tries to gain some ground. Great side-by-side racing throughout the field, deep into the field here. Willison now trying to find a pace, find a rhythm, and just start clicking off laps. 5 laps completed here.
Side-by-side battle for 5th is white number 07, Ryan Litt, trying to chase down Eric Humphreys.
And Bobby Santos is up to 3rd in the 22. Murchison running in 4th. Litt is 5th, Humphreys 6th. Mergoglio is now 7th. Here's Hamilton in the 14. He's trying to gain some ground.
2017 Pink Lady Classic winner Ryan Burnett has
Yellow
pulled
is
it
out.
infield.
2 cars along the wall here on the front straightaway. One of them being the 02. That's Quintana.
That's the 33. The front row starter, Jeff Montgomery. I saw him lose 2 spots a lap ago. He's drifting back to the back half of the top 10 after his front row start.
Bond on the outside, Willison on the inside. Coming to the line, here we go. Green is in the air again. Blonde trying to make that outside work, but Willison quicker on the inside. Pulls a couple of car lengths. And Santos on the outside from 4th to 3rd in the black 22, and he's going right after Blonde.
On a dare, not a tear. Bobby Santos going forward. Ryan Litt now to the inside for 4th.
And Hamilton Jr. trying to come through in the blue 14. And Rohrig is on the charge. Rohrig has made his way up to 9th. He's right behind Mergoglio. To the inside there. Rohrig continuing to move up through the field. There's a good look at him. He's behind the 15 of Humphreys now. Rohrig at 8th. Eric Humphreys in that 15.
King of the Wing champ versus the 500 Sprint Car Tour champ from this year.
There's the battle for 2nd right there. Blonde trying to hold out the hard charge, and Bobby Santos in the 22.
Santos won a 100-mile, 146-lap Silver Crown race this year. The Hoosier 100 at IRP in the Silver Crown Series.
Meanwhile, Willison almost 2 full seconds out in front of Blonde and Santos. And Litt has caught back up to Santos. Those 3 all battling over 2nd right there.
Ryan Litt out of London, Ontario with the must-see racing group. The only driver that consistently runs there from the province of Ontario. Great speed shot here, love it.
Hamilton is in 6th, right behind Margison. Hamilton going inside on Margison, coming to the line. You can see him behind these 3 cars right here. Give the spot to DJ.
Up to 5th for Davey Hamilton Jr.
Back here, you're looking at the 21. That's Robbie Price, that black and yellow machine. Price behind Mergoglio. There's your race leader right there, Aaron Wilson, who's led every lap so far, all 17.
We got 3 cars between the leader and 2nd place. All getting a lap down. These guys are in heavy traffic suddenly.
Yep, that's DJ working through the lap traffic as he's trying to catch up to that 07. That's Ryan Litt, who holds 4th. Hamilton is in 5th. Willison still your leader. And his gap is increasing. 2.7 seconds now between him and Blonde.
Big difference. He got 2 full clean laps while the others were going through 3 lap cars behind him for 2nd on back. Blonde is clear now. He's got Bobby Santos in his tire tracks for 2nd. Good run here. Tyler Rohrig up to 7th. He's closed on Margison, but now it's kind of settled out just a little bit.
Leaders have got some clean air a little bit now. Willison Santos battling still with Blonde. That's a great fight there for second. They're down into 1 and 2. Down the back stretch they go with Lit on their tail. DJ right behind them. He's trying to get that blue 14 up there. Here comes Lit up the inside on Santos, fighting over third.
Santos might have gave him the inside, knowing the slow car ahead on the bottom. We'll see if it pays off for Santos in the black 22. It does. It allows Davey Hamilton Jr. to close in while they're figuring out how to get through traffic.
That's Richie Larson in the other 22. And look at this. Hamilton has caught the back of Lit. The 07 is Lit. The 14 is Hamilton.
Hamilton joined this team, Kirk Morgan Racing, in 2021. The team just was nothing until 2020. It was all formed new for Kirk Morgan. Businessman's got a powerhouse team built together. They also fielded a car tonight for Ari Leindeck Jr., who did not transfer into the A main tonight.
Still dealing with traffic here. It's going to be a challenge all night long. 72 laps remaining. Lap times down in the 13-second range for the leaders. These laps are going to click up fast, Jim, if we stay green. Yeah,
look how they just got the momentum. They know they can now predict where they're going to find lap cars, where they can get position. We saw Blonde move up, but he's been doing that all weekend. He's been the first guy to kind of go up to the turn 2 wall and then get down the straightaway to make the max out of the arc on the backstretch.
You're going to need it later on in this race. Blonde, Santos, Lit, and Hamilton, second, third, fourth, and fifth, all in a freight train.
Lapping Audra Cicelli in her first sprint car race in several years.
69 laps remaining now. Things going quick. 2.3 seconds, the gap between Willison right here in the 14W and Blonde, the second place car. One around in turn 4.
As that happened, the caution came out and Tyler Rohrig has pulled off the racetrack.
What a shame. Rohrig was up around the top 10.
In 7th position was Tyler Rohrig when he slowed off of turn 2 as Audra Cicelli's brought out the caution for her spin in turn 4.
Jim, she was very impressive this weekend. She sat atop the board through quite a bit of qualifying in the number 1 slot. And then more than 3/4 of the way through, she finally got knocked back.
It's Willison on the inside and Blonde on the outside. Willison with a great jump.
And the ferocity of the action picks right back up where they left off, doesn't it, Jim?
Oh, it's like you have a lion that's just sleeping, and all of a sudden you wake it up and it roars as loud as it can. Every restart, it's amazing.
Hamilton side by side with the 57, and he's going to lose the spot to Marguson, who moves by. Put him up to 5th. Watching that battle for second, coming off a turn, or third actually, coming off a turn number 2 down into 3. That's Lit in the 07 with Santos right on his tail in the black 22.
Our pace earlier at 13.7 second laps. We get back firing. We're at 12.5 second laps here for the race leader, Aaron Willison. Out of British Columbia, leading the Michigan must-see champion, Jason Blonde. Now we can see the cars developing that outside line all the way to the outside, arcing backstretch dogleg into 3.
And Jim, we are 13 laps now away from completing the first 50 and getting that mandatory break. They'll be able to change 1 tire, the right rear. And they can take fuel and make any other adjustments they want, but they can only change 1 Hoosier tire. It has to be the right rear. There's DJ in that blue 14, closing back up on Evan Marguson.
He restarted 50, lost a spot to Marguson here in this since the restart. He's trying to gather it back in, and he's not peaking as he was earlier in the 14.
Yeah. See if he's used up that tire a little bit, maybe trying to get up there. They're going to have about 10 laps to go here, 1 more lap to get to this 50-lap break.
Robbie Price hanging on in 7th.
There's the 50 of Blonde, 2nd place. And there's the nose wing of Lit, closing right up on him. They're a 1.5 seconds behind Willison. And wherever Lit goes, Santos follows. Right along with him. they work through the traffic.
Can't say it enough how much where they catch lap traffic on the racetrack plays a huge factor in the distance they have to either gain or lose relative to position here. We saw Santos catch lap traffic on the straightaway. Others are catching in the corners and losing time.
With 57 laps remaining, a lot of these drivers have already run the longest race they've ever competed in. They're going to have a whole nother 50 to go here in just a minute. Five laps away from the break. Santos starting to reel in the 0-7 of Ryan Litt a little bit. Here he comes, closing up on him. He's on the backside of that tail tank. Litt focused on Blonde in front. Here comes Santos looking outside. Took a peek.
They're right at Blonde's back door now. Right at Blonde's back door.
Yep. They've got the other 22 just in front of them. Larson. 3 laps from the break coming up here.
Blonde went high thinking he had to pick Larson on the backstretch. Not the case. That gave the inside to Litt.
Right on the inside. Litt's going to go squeezing. No, Blonde cuts him off, uses Larson as a pick.
Unreal. The use of the throttle to get that spot back for Blonde.
And meanwhile, while that goes on, Santos comes up the inside. He tries to steal his spot away. And Hamilton gets around Markussen while all that goes on.
Sliced right through there, didn't he? Hamilton did.
Sure did. One more lap to go to the break. They cross the line at 50. They'll complete this lap and get the caution. So 50 to go. Halfway signs are out. Coming around, they'll see the caution and we'll get the break. There it is. Caution is out. They're all going to come in and come to a stop.
Right here in the front
straightaway.
Yep.
If they want to put fuel in the car, the driver has to get out of the car for safety purposes. If they're not putting extra fuel in, driver can stay in the car and they can change that right rear only. Then they can make any other adjustment they care to make to the car. And let's get to Tony Stevens, who has a driver for us.
Have the driver right now, Mr. Willison. You look at this car, you got out and you made a 360 around it. What are you looking for, or just kind of trying to ease your mind?
Yeah, just easing my mind, overall condition, looking at tire wear, stuff like that. So the Tri-X group, Randall Brothers Racing, Keg car is rolling pretty darn good tonight. So a few minor adjustments. We'll put some fuel in the right rear on and go again.
Do you know how much of a lead you had, and how much, if any, were you saving?
I have no idea how much of a lead I had. I was just picking a pace that I knew I could run continuously. How far away was I?
Let's just say that we're curious if you're saving.
Oh, okay.
2 seconds, Tony, if he's wondering.
No. Well, yeah, I could do another 50 of those.
Well, it was a 2-second gap, Ralph, like you said, and something tells me that there's still a little bit left in the tank.
According to him,
there's always more.
I love his attitude, man. He is riding high. He said he could sleep last night really good after earning the pole, and he's telling it like it is. He's just talking to his guys now. They have done a masterful job racing this year, winning the Northwest Sprint Tour Championship.
Outside of what will be row number 1 of the restart is Jason Blonde, and he kind of got out of the car, and, well, what do you have for that guy to your left over there?
Yeah, nothing right now. Just fighting the tight end situation, and it'll kind of snap loose on exit. So, yeah, if we can get some more stagger to this thing with that other tire we put on, that would be a big bonus. Let it roll in the corner a little better. But, yeah, we don't have nothing for him now, but I'm trying to block my ass off, trying to keep them guys behind me for now, but we'll see how that goes.
With a car that doesn't have mirrors or anything like that, how do you do that?
I mean, sometimes they'll show you a wing or something, you know, on the inside. Sometimes you can hear them, but, yeah, you just do what you can do and see what happens.
Well, we'll see if he makes the right changes, and who knows, you might see Jason Blonde up there with Aaron Wilson.
30 years of driving sprint cars, 8 championships on pavement, 1 on dirt. Jason Blonde with experience.
Ryan Litt has made his way up to 3rd in this one, and you sound pretty confident talking to the crew and everything. How much is left? Can you get by the last 2 in your hit list, so to speak?
Yeah, the car is phenomenal right now. I was able to keep it right in the bottom and pick cars off as I went, get really good restarts. So I was kind of riding the last 15, just trying to save my stuff once I got into 3rd. So, yeah, we're going to make a couple little adjustments here, and I think we got a really good shot at it.
What are the things you're trying to diagnose in those first 50 laps as far as what changes you want to make to this race car and kind of observing what it does over that run?
Biggest thing is just trying to take care of your equipment. You know, we're used to running 30 or 40 laps, so 100 laps is a lot on your, you know, your brakes, your engine. Tires are a big thing too, so we get to throw a new right rear on here and just trying to take it easy on everything, and you'll probably see guys probably the last, you know, 20 or 25 laps really really go for it.
Well, right on cue, your crew guy came and grabbed a brand new right rear to throw on this car. Good luck. Ryan Lick going to restart this thing in third.
Well for these guys.
Tony, how's Davey Hamilton Jr. doing?
Well, he doesn't have his tongue hanging out, Ralph, like you were asking, but he has certainly broken a sweat in this one. You've done a lot of work to get this thing from 10th up now inside the top 5. Can you get the next 3 guys in front of you?
Man, I think lap traffic is my savior in this race. I'm good in lap traffic. Unfortunately, the motor's just not running right. I don't know if it's cold air, but it takes it a couple laps before it gets going after a restart. Then I get my rhythm. At the end of that run right there, I was starting to run out of fuel with 10 laps to go, so it was really cutting out, coming out of the corners. But, I mean, this isn't a good motor for this race. I mean, honestly, I'm getting out-motored on the starts, and everybody could see it. The guys are just passing me fully on the straightaway. So it's not the funnest thing to deal with, but I know these guys are working hard. We're going to try our best. Aaron is in a whole nother zip code right now, so hopefully we just get some more lap traffic to where it kind of evens it out for me.
I would have been surprised to hear a motor because there's about 6 guys on the back of this race car. Are you trying to offset that lack of motor with something in the back end?
You know, we just need to change the right rear. The fuel thing, I don't think we started with enough fuel that we judged for, and then motor at this point, we just can't do anything. So it is what it is. It's what we got. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. And the race seems like it's going good so far. And you know, I want to be on top of this thing at the end of it, but it's gonna take some work.
Well, they're going to work back here on this 14 car.
Final 50 laps of the scheduled 100 with $50,000 on the line, and we're racing again at the bull ring. Willison back to the lead. Here comes Blonde with Santos on his tail tank. Bobby looking outside. Here he comes in the black 22. Tucks back inside, tries to cross underneath. And Blonde blocks him going down into turn number 1. The caution is out here on the front straightaway. 27 hard into the wall. Significant damage to that right front tire of the 27 of Mike Hathaway.
Audra Silly may have been involved in that, as well as Brad Aumann. Aumann was racing on the lead lap. Got some debris on the front stretch as well they'll attend to here. It'll be a few minutes.
Deeper in the field here.
They were 3 and 4 wide on the backstretch right before this happened.
There it is.
Aumann got into Cicelli, it looks like, and the 27 of Hathaway came upon both of them crossways. Knocked the right front off the thing. Steering was out of it before he got in the fence.
Green flag. Santos with a good start. That's a look at how deep Blonde went into the corner. Santos with the drive off the 2 to the inside going into 3. Santos doing everything he can to battle with Blonde for second. He's got to buy a wheel at the line. But Blonde is hanging in there on the outside. Lick gets around Hamilton. He's up to 4th. And Hamilton's right on his tail tank in 5th. Santos now clears Blonde. He's in 2nd and going after Willison. Lick comes alongside of Blonde. Challenge now is for 3rd, right there. Blonde still working the outside. He slips up in 3 and Lick gets by.
Willison and Blonde with the scuffed right rear tires. Advantage Willison here as Blonde is still trying to fight for traction. Might lose 4th spot here in a lap or so. Davey Hamilton's on the charge with the blue 14.
Santos starting to work on Willison.
There goes Hamilton by.
The gap right now between 1st and 2nd just inside of 1 full second, 9/10. This time by, Santos picked off a 10th, so he's charging after him. You can see the gap as they come to the line again. There goes Willison. Santos behind him. Got another 10th.
Blonde is dropping back. Lost a spot to Evan Marginson now.
2/10 that lap. Bobby Santos is coming like a freight train in that black 22.
And Bobby's altering his line just enough to say, okay, this is better in this end, this is better here. He's perfecting his line right now.
And another 10th. They're within half a second of each other. Santos is right there with 40 laps to go. He lost 2/10 on that lap. This is going to be a great battle for the $50,000 check. And don't count Litt and Hamilton Jr. out of this one yet. Traffic in front of the leaders now. Down the back straightaway, they'll come across a couple of cars by the time they get to 3. Right there in front of them. First one is the 65 of Rose. Rose holds his line. Willison to the outside. The Canadian driver's done a great job all night, leading every lap so far.
Rose has a fast car. Some of the drivers that we talked to last night said this would be the fastest lap traffic we'll have to race with all year long.
Yep, there goes Santos by. Santos within half a second that time across the line. Working around the 76 now. Alberding to the high side of him. Both drivers will clear by the time they get to 3. Here's Litt working his way around the 65 of Rose, and that's going to slow him up a little bit, and Davey Hamilton Jr. right on his tail now. So this traffic is definitely going to come into play for the win here tonight.
Yeah, Rose is just fast enough here to be a factor for Litt and Hamilton. Hamilton thought he might have had a shot on the inside, not to be.
Willison inside of Reynolds. They get around him. Santos clears him as well, but he's lost a 10th or 2. Next up will be the 22 of Richie Larson. Larson running 14th, so the leaders have lapped up to 14th now. 30 laps to go, this time across the line. 50 grand awaits the winner. Willison gets around. Oh, Willison gets loose. Santos to the inside. New leader here at the bull ring. Yellow is out as we've got one up around the wall and one spinning to the inside, and Alberding spins too. Jim, I'm wondering if there's some fluid down on the racetrack over there.
We heard from the drivers like Davey Hamilton Jr. talking about getting settled into my pace. Litt was there. He was right on pace, hanging on to 3rd.
Boy, was he.
Santos took advantage of Willison's only error of the weekend. Off of turn 2, was on the outside of that lap car and broke loose long enough for Santos to get the lead for a brief instant.
Let's take a look at the replay here, Jim.
That's
Okay.
Larson on the inside.
That's Willison in the 14.
Watch the orange car.
Right there, you can see him start to chase that steering wheel. Santos came right up the inside of him going into 3. And then around went Larson in the 22.
I wonder if Willison might have got in that fluid off of turn 2 already on the outside groove.
He might have.
Man, it was such a good run. What happened to bring this car here?
Something in the driveline broke. You can see the torque tube hanging down there. It's really a shame. The car was fast. I got hung up in lap traffic a little bit there.
Here we go. We're green. 29 laps to go.
Oh, Price won at the bottom in the worst way, but Martinson filled the hole.
And Hamilton with a much better start that time stays right with Santos till they get to turn 3. Willis, and another one around and into the wall. Turn 3, caution.
Dylan Reynolds hit it a ton. Both left side tires flush. There's a nasty spin there. Last car in line. Nope, second to last car. The black car on the outside. There we go.
There he goes. Well, bam.
He was outside of a car. Was he too far up, maybe? I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either, but it's going around. I saw some sparks, and
Yep.
it's going around there.
Yep.
Or something might have dropped
Yeah.
that rear.
Wow. I thought the left sides hit flush. It was the right sides that hit that hard. Well, that would be an indication of when the wick was lit for the incident. Damage coming down the backstretch based upon mechanical failure there.
29 laps away from 50 grand. Who's going to get it? Green flag. No surprise that Willison leads him into 1. Santos fighting to hang on to second as Marchison comes along. Here comes Price, diving inside at 3. Hamilton to the outside. He's alongside the 57 and by, and up into third. Great move by DJ.
3 wide with Gossel in the middle. Wow.
They have not lost the intensity of this one at all. Contact going down into turn number 3, and Gossel's into the infield. He's still rolling, trying to gather it back up, spinning around, and the caution is out. Look at him. Going into 3. Gossel's in that 6. Here he comes diving up the inside on the 15, and it's right there where he just ran out of room.
Humphreys gave it a gas, and he got to the outside of 3. It might have looked like there was an inside lane there for a second for Gossel to stick his nose in there, but that closed up really fast.
But he was doing everything he could to gather it up.
Yep.
He's going to try to get a little roll on him here. Willison with a good jump again. What can Santos do on the outside here in 1 and 2? Not enough. Marchison hangs on to third. Hamilton's going to try that outside to see if he can make a run at third.
Here comes Davey.
Yeah, couldn't get there just yet. Now he's going to cut inside going into 3. He runs it deep there. They give each other enough room, a little contact, but they battle through it. Did you see Davey pull the front wheel up?
1 burp of gas and then through the floorboard for Hamilton to save that one.
There's still some bite out there. Big Hoosier hooking up. Willison dealing with some lap traffic as they get around Larson in the 22. Everybody's going to follow. Davey dives in inside, but the Larson car is there. That's going to open the door for Price, who tries to close in on the 22, or the 21, I should say. He can't get there.
We are wound up full. Hamilton now settling in. This is the closest battle in the top 5. Price in the 21, closing on Hamilton.
And Larson's going to pull in with a flat right front. Willison continues to lead. Next time by, just 20 laps remaining. Move over flag being given to the 12 car. Does a nice job of getting out of the way of the race leader.
Yeah, Bergner's doing a nice job. He knows he's not up to pace here. He's just staying on the inside. Wants to get a top 10 finish ultimately, if all things play to his favor. 11 cars still on the racetrack.
Best battle still the one for third. The 51 and the 14. Hamilton and Marchison battling it out.
Yeah, Price closed on Hamilton, but Hamilton's now found pace to gather in Marchison here.
Yep, fighting for the last spot on the podium here tonight. Nobody seems to have anything for Willison, even with all the restarts. Can't get him. He has played a spectacular hand of cards tonight, Jim.
Big time. That team has prepared a really fast race car out of British Columbia. They've been fast all weekend. He had to go high on the track one time, if you recall, and nearly lost it on the outside of turn 2. Lost the lead for about 500 feet before the caution came out. That's the only threat for Willison this weekend.
Yep, just one little bobble. This time by, he's going to have 14 laps remaining here between him and $50,000. Hamilton now has lost some ground to Marchison. The gap between first and second is 1.5 seconds. Stays that way on that lap. Santos can't get enough traffic with Willison to get really an opportunity to make something happen. They've got 3 cars in front of them. Maybe that'll help with 11 laps to go.
Levi Rose will be in the path of the leaders in the closing laps here.
Willison's got to dispose of these 3 as fast as he can. It's 1.3 seconds last time by traffic now, and the gap is 1.2.
Wilson had to really pinch it down into turn 1 to get underneath Rose. Got the pass clean. Now Santos' turn. 3 cars are battling for position ahead of our leader.
There he is going by. He's got Gossel now in front of him in the 6. One still 1.3 seconds between the two.
Santos and Margison are in traffic side by side ahead of them.
Inside of 10 laps to go. Margison inside of Santos makes the move, takes over second place. Meanwhile, Willison getting around Gossel if he can. He'll have 7 laps remaining to 50 grand. He gets around Gossel. Now he goes after Blonde. Boy, Blonde's night has certainly changed. Looked like he was going to be a contender for the win. Now he's going a lap down. Coming up on 5 laps to go. Margison doing everything he can to take a shot at the leader. But Willison is so strong here tonight. Aaron Willison from Langley, British Columbia, has really dominated this 100-lap Risk-On 360 Open Wheel Showdown.
Margison slowed on the inside of turn 3, and right around the top side went Santos. Margison off the pace.
And Hamilton Jr. goes into the top 3. Here we come. It'll be 3 laps remaining for the race leader.
Yeah, Margison pulled off a 4, and his night is over. Something mechanically wrong on the car that was running in a podium position.
What a shame. This time by 2 to go here at the Bull Ring. Willison just hoping it all stays together for 2 more laps. He goes inside the lapper down into 3. Easy does it. White flag is out for Willison as he comes to the line. Down the backstretch, the final time. Aaron Willison out of Langley, British Columbia. It's the Risk-On 360 Open Wheel Showdown. 100 laps later, $50,000 to Aaron Willison, who absolutely dominated all 100 laps. Bobby Santos hangs on for second. DJ Davey Hamilton Jr. did a great job promoting, did a great job driving. He'll come home with the final spot on the podium here tonight.
Here he goes. Giving the fans a show in turn 1.
Flat dominated this one. There were guys that took shots at him, Jim,
Oh, yeah.
and took some serious shots at him. He's going for the wing. Here comes the wing dance.
Sort of a pavement midget race or a Silver Crown race, you'd expect to see Bobby Santos do well. He won Silver Crown races this year. Davey Hamilton Jr. won a Silver Crown race on a 1.25 mile racetrack. They finished on the podium behind this driver from Langley, BC.
And you know, we have now, Jim, that we did not have this year. Notes on this race. Every racer in the country that watched this one or was here competing has a notebook full of ideas now of what it's going to take to win this one, and they're all planning.
Well, Ralph, he's got to catch his breath first. He's out of it down here. Is that from the celebration or the race? I'm not sure. But Aaron Willison, you're $50,000 richer in the inaugural Risk-On 360 Open Wheel Showdown. How did you execute this entire weekend so flawlessly?
I got to tell you, that's the best race car I've ever driven. This team believed in me. They never gave up on me. The support we have from British Columbia right now is absolutely amazing. I hope we put the Northwest and BC sprint car racing on the map today.
I think you made a pretty good impression on them, no doubt. There was one point in that race where Bobby Santos got alongside of you and briefly got by you, and then the caution came out. What was going through your head at that moment, and how much of a game changer could that have been?
Well, somebody blew up there and it oiled the back straight from the exit of turn 2 all the way down. And I was on the outside of Richie Larson and I buzzed the tires and we started tangoing and Bobby was able to sneak by on the bottom. Luckily it went yellow because about 5 other cars stacked it in the fence. And it was unfortunate them next 3 restarts, people were just victim to the oil up there because it wasn't noticed right away.
Well, the good news for you, you were able to get through all the chaos. You were here in Victory Lane. And once again, congratulations, inaugural Risk-On 360 Open Wheel Showdown champion.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for supporting this event.
And wait till he sees the trophy he gets to take home, too, to go with that 50 grand.
Prove what you can do against the very best, and they'll carry you forward. Headline maker, champion tonight, Aaron Willison prevails.
There's some big hugs. Maybe the best one of the night right there.
Hang on.
Oh.
He's got money. He's got money, dollar bills on his shorts. Money man.
Yep.
With our friends from Risk-On 360 right in the mix there.
And Max Pappas and MPI put those trophies together. Tremendous job.
One spot short for Bobby Santos. What was the difference?
Aaron was just better than we were. They won the race. They had the best car. He did the best job. Just extremely disappointed with second. But just because of how great this event is, got to thank Davey Hamilton Jr. I mean, kid worked his butt off to make this event happen. Very appreciative of him, Kirk Morgan, Risk-On 360. This is what we should be racing for. I mean, and I hope the event didn't disappoint. Just gotta thank Dick and everyone that puts this effort in with the 22 car. Second, it's not good.
Well, it's still pretty doggone good. We know it's going to hurt, but more motivation next year. Bobby Santos finishes second here this evening. Thanks, Ralph. Third spot for Dave Hamilton Jr. We talked to you at the break a little bit about maybe some of the shortcomings that car had tonight.
You know, I'm just he gets my money. I'm just thankful for this event, and a lot of people put in the work to make this happen. And I'm going to be working hard for next year, of course. And we ended up third. The car, unfortunately, we were dealing with some issues throughout the race. Like the motor was just, it wasn't there for us. And towards the end there, it started to let go, honestly. So super thankful that we were able to finish. A top 3 finish for us is great. Our teams are great. But huge thank you to Kirk Morgan Racing. My team, those guys don't ever give up. I mean, these guys I think they're the best in the business for sure. It's just we got some bugs to work out. And I know that we're going to go back to Florida and do everything that we can to come back stronger next year.
Davey Hamilton Jr., happy promoter and a somewhat happy race car driver here tonight.
Free racing on our brand new Fast Channel. For Tony Stevens and Jim Trader and our entire crew from Speed Sport, thanks for watching the Risk-On 360 Open Wheel Showdown. Congratulations to Aaron Willison, who's $50,000 richer. I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long, everybody from Vegas.